Saying things people already know out loud is tight.
Get out of my head! You park in front of your house, I park in front of my house.
This is...
Hey! If you don't stop, I will contact the usher.
What's up, everyone? It's Adam from FWCI. The Miss Marvel pitch meeting from Ryan George is up. I'm actually excited for this one. I know that this show certainly wasn't perfect by any means. By the way, I did react to the Miss Marvel season 1. I put it up in like two blobs of reaction videos. This is part 1 and part 2. So go check those out if you want to see my full reaction to that show. It was certainly not perfect by any means, but I enjoyed the character. I really enjoyed the actress that was playing Miss Marvel. I enjoyed the characters that surrounded it. I enjoyed the powers. I enjoyed like 85% of that show. It was a little bit childish at the start with some of the I think they misused some of the digital effects with all the drawings and stuff. Sometimes they got it right, other times it was a little bit distracting, but that kind of disappeared. But I do feel that the silliness came back into it at the end when the kids were holding off the damage control agents in the school. It kind of got a little bit like Home Alone. That just, I don't know, just the delivery of that whole scene was a little bit too campy and cheesy and goofy for my taste. But for the most part, the season was very interesting. I found it very enlightening, informative. I learned a lot about partition from this. I had no real idea what happened during the separation of India and Pakistan. Now I feel like I do. And for the most part, again, it was a pretty entertaining show. Abu was great. The brother was fantastic. Bruno was a great character as well. I'm still holding on to my theory that he's going to end up being Frogman. Green hoodie, going to LA, She-Hulk's in LA. Just saying, I'm just saying. But let's check out what Ryan George has to say about Miss Marvel in the pitch meeting. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. I just watched Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, so that'll be going up pretty soon. But let's see what Ryan George has to say about Miss Marvel.
So, you have a new show for me? Yes, sir, I do. Miss Marvel? I mean, honestly, we've been putting out so much content, I haven't really had the chance to get nostalgic. This is a show called Miss Marvel about this 16-year-old Kamala Khan. Oh, and what's her deal? Well, she freaking loves the Avengers, sir, especially Captain Marvel. She has all her merch. Oh, we're even making fictional money off of merch. I like that. Yeah, so Kamala has this friend Bruno, and it seems like he's got a little crush on her.
Okay. Great opportunity to say that Kamala being the superhero stan that she is in this series is great. That's a character I'm super interested to see the journey behind. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Aw, teenage love. And she's gonna meet this new kid, Cameron, and it seems like he has a little crush on her. Oh,
it's not Cameron, it's Cameron.
Him too, okay. And later in the show, she's gonna meet this guy, Kareem, and it seems like he's got a little crush on her.
Yes,
him as well, also.
Yes.
All right, him too. And she also has this brother, Amir. Oh no. And he's gonna get married soon. Oh, thank God. So anyway, Kamala really wants to go to this Avengers convention, but her parents are super strict. They don't want her to go. Okay. But she sneaks over to it anyway, dressed like Captain Marvel, and that's where she discovers she has powers. How did she get powers? By putting on this bangle from her grandmother. And? Getting powers from it. Oh, that was pretty simple. Okay, neat. Yeah, so she ends up saving...
The bangle unlocked her X gene. That's what we've figured out since then. But first go, it was a little bit confusing that I was like, really? She just found a bangle and it gave her powers? But that gets explained as the season goes on.
This girl from something that she herself caused, and now she's a secret superhero. Oh, wow. So anyway, later she's gonna find out that guy Cameron and his mom Najma are part of this group called the Clandestines. And what's her deal? Well, they're from another dimension, and they've been stuck here for like 80 years, and they need Kamala's help to get back. Right. But then Bruno's like, well, that might be dangerous. So Kamala's like, okay, well, I'm gonna take a minute to think about this. Yeah, I mean, that's totally fair. But then Najma hears about that, and she goes nuts, and they all attack Amir's wedding. They've been waiting for 80 years and they can't wait a couple more days for Kamala to think about it. That's what we're going with.
Yes. Good point.
Their own, so they're pretty dangerous, and they'll straight up kill people. They don't care. Oh no. But then these federal agents from the Department of Damage Control show up and arrest all the bad guys. Jeez, well I guess they must interrogate all the guests from the wedding too, huh? They do not. So then Kamala's grandmother calls and she's like, hey listen, you guys gotta come to Karachi right now. So they get on a plane and head over there. So not only do they not interrogate anyone, they let them leave the country as well. Oh yeah, they're comically incompetent, sir. Yeah, sure sounds that way. But they do take the clandestines into custody.
Yeah, the Department of Damage Control was, again, that's where it kind of felt a little bit goofy, a little bit too, like, child kind of aimed, I guess. the government agency should have been way more formidable than they were in this show. I will agree with that.
Oh, is it going to be tough for them to break out? Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, because see, they just kind of do it. They just kind of break out immediately. Well, these damage control people are terrible at controlling damage. They sure are, sir. So then in Karachi, Kamala meets these people called the Red Daggers. And what do? Well, they have a very nifty PowerPoint presentation to explain alternate dimensions and stuff. They just have that ready to go. Yeah, I mean, people always have expository presentations ready to go in the MCU.
Ready to go.
That's a good point. Weird that we don't ever see anyone preparing those. Kinda. So then they show her that if the clandestines manage to open up this veil to the Nord dimension where they're from, that'll basically destroy the world. Whoa. The world is at stake? It rarely isn't, sir. Jeez. Whoa. I wonder if the world's gonna end. Maybe this time it will, you know? Maybe this is the time. Man, that's high stakes. I hope the world doesn't end. I hope it keeps going. Well, stay tuned to the rest of the pitch to find out, sir. I will. So anyway, later, Najma...
Yeah, I can understand that. I have always been critical of DC for that. I feel like the devastation and the stakes in theirs is just so completely overblown to the point where it just doesn't really land. I don't know, something about Marvel, I feel like they do a better job of balancing that. Obviously, you know the superhero is going to win. And I don't think anyone goes into any superhero show or movie like, well, you know, the bad guys got this kind of thing. That's what made Infinity War, you know, such a moment. But yeah, I can see what he's saying with it.
Stabs the bangle, which sends Kamala back to 1942 during the partition. She can time travel? Yeah, I guess so. So then she saves her own grandmother's life and then comes back. Good. It's good that she did that. Yeah, she had to make sure that she'd be born one day. I think it'd be really good for the show if the main character was born. I agree. So then when she comes back to the present time, the veil is open, but it turns you into a skeleton if you touch it. Those are from Halloween. They sure are, sir. So then Kamala convinces Najma that if she ended the world, her son would be sad about that. So she decides not to end it. Oh, cool that it was so simple to change her mind after 8 decades of determination. Yeah, so she transfers her powers to her son, which is a thing that she can do, and then she closes the veil and turns into a skeleton. Wow.
So I have a theory that she didn't die there and turn into a skeleton. I have a theory that that's like her essence going into the Nord dimension, and her Earth body is just kind of like expired at that point. I don't know, that's what I got out of that anyway.
Wow, well that's a nice message. What is? Well, you know, maybe the real skeletons were inside us all along. Yeah, that's not technically wrong. Nice. Yeah. All right. Not technically wrong. Being wrong is tight. So, okay, so moving on. So then they got to go back to America because Cameron cannot handle these new powers. Uh-oh. So Kamala's parents give her a cool new costume so she can go save the day and help out. I thought they were super strict and protective. Yeah, but now that she defied them a bunch and did a whole lot of dangerous stuff, they're like, yeah, we can trust you now. What? So all the kids go to their high school.
Yeah, Kamala's mother did a hard 180. When she realized that Kamala's powers were real, she was like 100% on board. But the whole first half of the season, they called her Darth Vader because she was just not, you know, supportive of her daughter at all. So yeah, I noticed that as well. But maybe that's her journey, because they also covered the fact that she never believed that her mother was telling the truth when the grandma was saying to the mum, Darth Vader's mum said to Darth Vader, magic is real, or the Nord dimension is real. Darth Vader didn't believe it, and then she saw the proof, believed it. That's what happened. But yeah, very clunky.
School, but then damage control shows up. How'd they find them?
I'm fucking clunky.
Ask that question, but another one's like, it doesn't matter. But how did they, though? Hey, shut up. So now they're outside, and they've got the school surrounded. Man, well, it's gonna be tough for a group of kids to get out of that situation. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, they rig up the school Home Alone style, and they take these guys out with science and with softball launchers. It sounds like it'd take super long to set up. Why didn't the agents just go in? Because? So then these agents try to shoot Cameron dead, but Kamala...
The agents didn't even have the clearance to go in yet. They even went in under like strict instructions not to go in. So I can understand that there's a bit of a wait. But again, that whole scene is silly.
Jumps in and saves him. They tried to shoot a kid? They did, yeah. They said they would use non-lethal force and then immediately used lethal force. Yikes. So then Kamala punches a hole in the ground and he escapes to Pakistan. How deep was that hole? I know, right? No, like, what are you talking about? And then Bruno's gonna tell Kamala that he discovered she has a mutation. That's the word from the other thing. It sure is, sir. And then Kamala swaps places with Captain Marvel. Very exciting and confusing. And so that's about it. What do you think? Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe we put this out at the same time as that Obi-Wan Kenobi show we're doing. Is that the best strategy, sir? Feels like people are gonna want to watch Obi-Wan instead of Miss Marvel, maybe. I think it'll be fine.
Least watch MCU Disney show. Yeah, I can understand that. It's I feel like I'm very open-minded in terms of like superheroes and stuff like that. I really enjoyed the Miss Marvel character from the video game, and I know that even with that game, a lot of people just have never been into this character, so it's a very polarizing character. It's also the only Disney Plus MCU show that doesn't have a massive MCU counterpart cameo in it as well, which I think goes to say as well. So I don't know, I think the fact that it's the least watched show, there's a few things that go into that as well. This was also being put together over COVID, and I feel like Marvel's quality of the content that was being produced while COVID restrictions were in place around the world hasn't been the best, and I don't know if the answer is they should have put more money and time into perfecting it, but they're also on this crazy deadline because you've got the entire MCU all happening all at the same time. Imagine how many Marvel movies are in production at any one time. You have a lot of restrictions in terms of staying to the agreement that you've got with the audience in terms of when things are going to come out and stuff like that. So I don't think there was anything egregiously bad about the Ms. Marvel show. I thought it was perfectly good. I thought it was a great introduction of a very interesting character, and if you've seen any interviews with Iman Vellani, the girl who played Ms. Marvel, she is hilarious. She's absolutely that character in real life as well. So to me, that adds to the believability of this character and her performance as well. So that's my thoughts on Ms. Marvel. Again, go see my real-time reactions. They're up on the channel already because, again, I had a great time watching that show. Some really fun characters. I haven't even really touched on the humor throughout this show that I really enjoyed, and some of it was unexpected as well. So I had a great time with it. Let me know in the comments if you guys... did you even watch Miss Marvel? Are you one of the people who made it the least watched MCU Disney Plus show ever? Or are you somebody that watched it, didn't like it? Did you like it? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, and see you in the next video. Peace. By the way, she's a mutant.